everyone. Thanks for joining early. If you can't hear me, let me know. I'm going to give you a second to connect to your audio. But we're going to start right at 4:30. But thanks for being on time. We're so excited to have you. So just give me a few more minutes, then we'll get started. While we're waiting for everyone, we are going to take attendance by giving you a form. You can either scan the QR code or you can, I will put the link in the chat. If you could just fill out that form, you just need to write your name, but that is how we're going to take attendance to know how many times your name needs to go into the drawing for the scholarship at the end of the year. Yeah, Faith.
It's actually pronounced Faith, but I can't scan QR codes. So is there like a link or something?
Yes, sorry, I'm getting that right now.
Thank you.
Okay, there's the link in the chat for you. Okay, yay, so exciting. Thank you all for being here. Let's see, you can still hear me, right? Okay, so I'm hoping that everyone was able to get, that everyone can hear me. Everyone is able to fill out the form. If you don't see the link in the chat right now, please let me know and I'll put it back in. But that is going to be the link that you use to take, for us to know and to take attendance with. So, really quick, let's make sure everyone's in here. Okay, let me repost the link. I'm just gonna post it a bunch of times to hope that you all are able to see it, and I'll post it throughout the meeting so that we can check it out. But okay, hi, this is the first time we've all met together besides the Mentee orientation, if some of you were there for that. And I don't feel like we got to spend a ton of time really getting to know each other, but really quick, I know some people hate pictures, but we at Women Who Ski love pictures. So please, if you don't mind, if you could take your cameras or turn your cameras on really quick. I'm just gonna take a screenshot for us so that we can all be here together for a little bit. So that we can keep taking pictures. We're just going to keep taking pictures throughout all the workshops. So looks like I've got two screens, so it'll take me just a second. Let me make sure that everyone's in here who wants to be in here. Okay, looking good. Oh, okay, we might want to wait for our speaker. I'm so funny. Okay, sorry. We have an awesome speaker today. Her name is Melisa. And she is going to jump on really quick, so we'll wait for her to jump on while we get started on that. Okay, there she is. And then we are going to jump into it. Okay, hi Melissa. We're gonna take a really quick screenshot with everyone while we're all here and have our cameras on. Okay, so there are 2 screens. So just keep smiling for a second. I promise I'll be so fast. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me try one more. 1, 2, 3. So cute. Thank you so much. Okay. So I am going to put the link in the chat one more time in just a few minutes. But first, before we get started, again, thank you all so much for being here. We're so excited to have you. So excited to have our first monthly workshop. And so we are just going to jump right into it. My one announcement for you, first of all, I sent all of your workbooks in the mail a few weeks ago. You should have them by now. Yeah, it looks like Faith has hers, which is awesome. Marina's got hers. Yay. So glad that you got them. If you didn't get one, I have mailed out all of the ones that I've mailed out every workbook to every mentee that we have right now. If you still don't have it, please text me or send me an email after this workshop and let me know. And we can try to figure out if I sent it to the wrong place or if I got lost or whatever. But you should have a physical copy of the workbook. So if you don't by now, please email me afterwards so we can get you one, because it's a lot more fun to have it in person. And then my only other announcement is, once again, now that you're all here, I'm going to put that link in the chat one more time just to make sure that everyone gets it. You have to fill out this link in order to get credit for attending this workshop. Okay, so make sure that you fill this out. All you need to do is write your name so that I know that you were here. As much as I want to remember all of you, it's hard for me to keep track of everyone who shows up when I'm trying to run the workshop as well. So I really need your help in filling out this form and telling me that you came. And also, don't forget, it closes this form. You can't submit anything after 6 p.m. tonight. So you got to do it right now. Okay. But without further ado, I want to introduce you to Melisa. Melisa Griffith is here. She's one of our Women Who Succeed members, and we're so excited to have her. She's going to share some of her thoughts with you about our monthly topic of leading with confidence. Okay. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about her, and then we will jump right into it. But Melisa has always had a passion for connecting people with a purpose and has worked as a leader in the development sector for over 10 years. She currently works as the Chief Development Officer of Operation Gratitu. And I'm hoping that she'll go a little bit more into what that is and kind of what she does with that, because it's a really, really cool project, a really cool team that she works with. But through her fundraising experience, she has led the charge of annual donations, major gifts, and corporate sponsorship opportunities for university education. And over the past 4 years, she's focused on traditional marketing and development initiatives. Through this period, she, along with her team, have increased giving by 35%. And Melisa has a bachelor's in business marketing, and she received her MBA from the University of Utah. So she leads a team of professionals to increase external awareness, passion, and an in-kind and financial support to further the mission of Operation Gratitu and to ensure that all who serve believe the American people care. And in her personal time, she enjoys mentoring and tutoring junior high students, kind of like all of you. So we're excited that she's here. And when she's not serving her community, you can find her enjoying the great outdoors, kayaking, or biking with her dog, Cooper. So without further ado, we're going to turn it over to Melisa, and she's going to share some of her thoughts with us. Please remember to keep your cameras on if you're able to. It makes it a lot more fun, a lot more interactive that way. And please don't be shy if she wants to kind of get into discussions or wants your thoughts. Please know that this is a safe space and we want to be able to kind of have that dialogue. So without further ado, Melisa, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Sydney. And it is so wonderful to see all your faces tonight. You know, funny enough, I actually found out about my current organization because of Women Who Succeed and a mentorship program that I was doing with this very group. One of the people who I was mentoring, we have a volunteer program where you can hand make cards. So what we do actually is we do care packages. We send them to our veterans, our deployed troop, and our first responders. And inside all of these care packages are handmade items from scarves that are knitted to handwritten letters to blank cards where our deployed troops can then take these cards and turn around and write a nice note in them and then send them back home. And the person I was mentoring was actually making these cards as an outlet because she loved crafting. It was a avenue that made her whole. And so as I was looking for a different position, the name popped up and she had just told me about it last week. So it was because of this wonderful program that I found out about the organization that I'm currently working for. So it's funny how things come full circle. So like Sydney said, I would love if we wanted to make this interactive. I know this is a group of 30 people and it can be a lot if we want to speak up or if you guys have anything to say, but the more interactive, the better. You know, that's how we have the opportunity to learn from each other, and everyone who's in this group is in this group for a reason. So would really love it. There's the reactions button at the bottom. If you guys wanted to click on that and raise your hand or celebrate or hearts or whatever you want to use, the more engaging we can be, the more we will all get out of this together. I created a little PowerPoint because I think it's fun and I like creating PowerPoints. It gives me something to do out of the day. Sydney, can I actually share screen? It says that I don't have permission.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, so who here wants to be a leader? Let's start with that. Raise your hand on the reactions button. All right. I'm liking this. Look at all the hands. Fantastic. Well, as you know, this week's session, let me make it so we can see these hands. And if you raise your hand or if you speak up and I don't see it, just interrupt me. It's totally cool. Or comment in the chat. I'll open that so you guys can see it. Can you guys see my cute screen? Okay, so this week, this month, we're talking about leading with confidence. So my form of leadership. So my form of leading with confidence, I have had some really incredible opportunities here. From leading my teams, like Sydney just mentioned, from marketing and fundraising to leading teams across the country to serve in developing countries, from teams of 12 to 25 to explore developing countries, love on kids, figure out ways that we can give back to those who are in need. Leading students in Ecuador and Cambodia who came from more marginalized areas or less than ideal backgrounds. One of those places, it was working with girls who had been sex trafficked and they had been rescued, and now they were figuring out how to be who they are and not defined by their past. All the way to leading a mission in front of tens of thousands of people where I had to stand in front of a stage of 30,000, which was terrifying, but an incredible experience that has really helped form me to the individual, the leader, the confident person, the confident professional that I am today. All of these things have helped really form that. But I'll tell you, literally every day I form into a better leader. Every day I wake up and I want to be the best version of myself. Granted, some days are much better than the others, right? But every day, that's what I commit to. So what I really want to do here is talk, what is a leader? Leader is a word that's thrown around more now than it ever has been before. What is a leader? So here's 8 leaders. 8 people who would be defined as leaders. But there's some people in this in this group that I definitely wouldn't want to lead, or I wouldn't want to follow, right? Do you guys agree? Are there people in this picture that you wouldn't want to follow? So if that's the case, then what do you think makes them a leader versus not a leader? Go ahead and either type Peters. I see you don't have your mic on. Go ahead. Is it Peterson's? I don't know. The charisma and influence. Okay. The cause. I love that. Okay. They have a platform. Yep. That's a huge one. Having a pedestal that you can speak from. A following. How they became a leader and what they stand for. Their ability to inspire change. Anything else you guys can think of? Oh, we got one coming. If they want to make good changes. You can just speak up if you want. Can they say they're wrong? Humility, that's a good one. I think humility makes a really beautiful leader. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
So I saw that Adolf Hitler was there, and this is a bad example for a good leader. The reason he was such a great leader, or in my opinion, a bad leader because of bad influence, is by manipulating people.
Right. Manipulating for bad. Yep. I guess any form of manipulation isn't great. That's great. Yeah. So I think a leader is someone who inspires passion and motivation in followers for good. That passion and motivation in followers. A leader can be somebody who is influencing one person or somebody who is influencing millions of people. They are still a leader. But I think the biggest differentiator, and it's more prevalent now than it has ever been with our different platforms that we have readily available, is the cause and our intention behind it. We want to make sure that whatever we are doing, the motivation, the manipulation, the cause, everything that we're doing, we are leading for a good reason. What do you guys think about that? I like thumbs ups. Thumbs ups are positive. Oh, smiley faces, hearts. Okay. So I thought it would be fun. It's definitely all about the drive. You are right. You're right. And it's hard. It's hard, as a leader and as an influencer. And when I say influencer, I want to be clear. I am not talking about on social media. So it's hard, and you will be put in some situations where you have to make some tough choices, especially. And I think that's where that confidence part comes in, like there's leading and then there's leading with confidence. And so I thought for the next few minutes, we could just walk through some almost how-tos or some helpful hints or simple reminders that as you're put in leadership situations for the rest of your lives, you can always just kind of point back and remember these. Abby, did you have a question? Awesome. Okay. All right. Step one, we already kind of did this at the very beginning, but decide. Decide if you want to be a leader. I think there's a lot of pressure, especially with our younger generation, that's everyone's going to be a leader. Every person is going to be a leader. And it's one of the best parts of being a leader is it's a constant growth process. And one of the most beautiful parts, in my opinion, is you get to choose how you show up every day. Are you going to show up and are you going to be like, my mom was terrible and my dog tried to eat another dog this morning and it's a rough day? Or are you going to show up and be like, you know what, today's a good day and I'm going to do everything in my power to influence the attitudes and behaviors of the people who I get to interact with every day, be it the people on the bus in the morning, all the way to my sister before I go to bed, or whatever that looks like. You know, one thing that's been proven though is once you decide that you want to be a leader, whether it's managing people or influencing people through different avenues, confidence is key. You know, there were some studies that were done not too long ago with a few different schools. There, I think it was engineering and some technicians, some marketing people, and it was around leadership. And they were asking, like, do you want to be a leader? And many of the MBAs reported that they had self-confidence issues, but they were brilliant technicians or brilliant marketers, unbelievable engineers. And the people who gave this feedback shared that they found a certain level of uncertainty or ambiguity of leading people. They found it very unsettling. They hated it. They were not excited about it. Then they found themselves constantly looking for the right answers. They knew that, you know what, there's A or B here. There's no way that there's any gray area. And they were not enjoying the journey of management. You know, one of the most wonderful parts, like I said earlier, is it is a journey. There's no destination of management. So if you've decided, yes, leadership is for me, then definitely stay on that course. But it doesn't have to be, I guess. Like, you can still be an incredible technician. You can still be an incredible marketer. You can still figure out exactly who you want to be. You don't have to decide that like leadership or management or any of those things are for you. Granted, you can still be a confident leader and not manage individuals. So note that those are two separate things. Hi, Yasmin. Okay, any questions or comments with deciding? All right.
I just want to say, I just want to say, I love that you put this here. Deciding is like the first step to anything, right? To any goal that you want to achieve. So I love that you've put this in here, Melissa.
100%. Putting your mind to it is the first step to anything that you do or don't do. %, Kate. There is a stigma on being a follower in our culture right now. And I think the word follower within itself has like a negative connotation. I don't think that it's black and white. I don't think you're a leader or a follower. I think that you can be a leader and not have people following you. I think that there are very unique things as a person where you can stand true to who you are, you know, like even going back to this picture, Salma here. So Salma, she is an Afghan girl who she's part of the Afghan national cycling team. She's in a country where women weren't allowed to bike. It was a man's sport only. And so you have to believe that she was biking when there was no one following her, and she was experiencing a ton of negativity around her, a lot of negative talk, a lot of people who just were not on board with what she was trying to accomplish. But now she is constantly figuring out how to overcome this. Now she has people who are constantly following her. But you know, at the beginning, she was viewed as a follower or somebody who was going against the grain. It's not easy, but it's worth it every day. Okay, take chances. Even the most influential CEOs are guessing, but they do their homework. I think that's a big thing right here. You know, one of my favorite sentiments that I talk to my team about constantly is you're never there. And if you think you're there, you're not there. You are always growing. You are constantly changing. You are constantly becoming the best version of yourself. And when you become that version of yourself, you're going to become a better version of yourself in the next year. Like, I hope you guys journal or take notes and then go back and read those so you can be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I thought that was awesome. Or, oh my gosh, that was so incredible that I did that at that time. Being able to look back and reflect on yourself and see how far that you've come is so important to our journey as women and as young adults, and even grown adults, right? We got to take chances. I think that there's something so incredible about being able to take chances. I encourage everyone to make peace with ambiguity and decision making. All of us in our lives right now, every day you guys wake up and you have decisions to make, right? There's not always a clear black and white answer, but there's definitely strategic ways to go around it, right? Like, okay, so you're going to wake up in the morning. Are you going to hit snooze again? Or are you going to wake up and eat breakfast so you can feel better before lunch, right? You get to make good decisions along with it. You can gather a reasonable amount of data. You can involve people. You can be like, hey, mom, I want to click snooze in the morning, but will you make me a piece of toast, right? Like, you can figure out ways that you can work together with individuals. And she's like, no, you can do it. That's fine. Ultimately, people have to have the self-confidence to know, you know what, there's a way to make this happen, but I need to gather the information to make the best chance possible. I love this, Kate. Nellie, she's the first woman to summit K2, and it happened this past summer. There's a great person who took some chances, but you know, she did her research before she chose to summit, right? There is a great example. Thank you for sharing that, Kate. But with that, be prepared to fail. But when you fail, fail forward, okay? Accept the fact that you're going to fail on occasion. It's not bad. This is another stigma that has been put on people, especially a younger generation, that failing is bad. Failing is not bad. Like I tell my team, no is the second best answer, right? All humans fail. Everybody fails. But failing forward, learning from our mistakes, and so we don't make the same mistakes time and time again, that is how growth happens. That is how we become better leaders and more confident leaders and just confident humans, you know? If we can pause and we can be like, oh man, yeah, I can see that if I would have done this instead of this, this is how I could have done better. 100%. Failure is given, so get cozy with it. And it's great. Once you can accept that failure is not bad, but failure is an opportunity for improvement, that is a great place to be in. A big thing here is to demonstrate courage. And I think that happens with the failure, you know, especially as you're leading people, you want to demonstrate courage on the outside, even when you don't feel it on the inside. And I am not saying be fake. We are not a group of fake people here, are we? No, ma'am. We are not fake here. What we are is we are displaying confidence in the decision that we make. We will own where we went wrong. Somebody said something that differentiates some of the leaders that were listed up above is the ability to admit wrong. 100%. 100%. You need to be able to admit when you've done something wrong, but you can admit it while still staying true to who you are and maintaining a good level of confidence and expressing like, yes, this is where we went wrong and this is how we will improve next time. So it's not like, oh man, I really screwed up. No. We don't need to do that, right? We can say, you know what, there were areas where we could have done better and here's what they are and here's how we're going to do better, right? So demonstrate that courage on the outside, and then you have your core group of people that you can come to and be like, whoo, whoo, that was a rough day, or whatever that looks like, whoever your core group of people are or person is, or your journal that night, whatever that looks like to you. So you have that outlet so you can not hold everything on the inside. That is extremely valuable as you continue to become very confident leaders. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage that continues to count. It takes courage to fail, you know, like Yasmin said, failure is a given, get used to it. Oh yes, go ahead. Faith?
It's Faith.
I'm sorry.
So I do competitions. I'm a Highland dancer, and I get really nervous every single time a competition comes around. And I just had one last weekend, actually. And I was told that I have a lot of confidence on stage, but in all reality, I am a nervous wreck on stage.
But no one would know, huh? When they are looking at you on stage,
no one knows. My mom told me that my confidence is pouring out from the stage. All reality, I'm a nervous wreck.
How did you get there? How did it take you to get to a place where on stage you are oozing confidence?
I don't know how to explain it. Just practicing the dances constantly, and whenever I get, like, say, a low placement, I just try harder, so that way I know that I know my dances.
So you're prepared?
Yeah.
I love that. And then there's a good amount of faking it until you make it, right? You put on that smile and then you do your routine and then it's over and you're like, heck yes, I just did that.
Yes.
And then the next time you do it, you know that you can do it and it gets better and better. Sometimes it's hard, but you know that you can do it. Thank you so much for sharing that, Faith. You know, as a leader, you're going to go through lessons. And I think that there's a lot that we can do with those lessons. A lot of people choose to ignore those experiences as the teacher. So I think a lot of leaders are like, you know what, I'm just going to chalk that up and ignore it. But again, it's what we do with those experiences that make a difference. So there's inevitable bumps that are going to happen. There's definitely bumps and bruises that are going to happen along the way, but it's what you do with those that are going to form you into the most beautiful, confident leaders that every one of you are already becoming. So these are our high level talking points. I know Yasmin has some really great information that she's going to share with you. My goodness, she has one of the most wonderful stories that I've ever had the honor of getting to meet, to know. But if you guys ever have any questions or if there's anything that you guys are going through, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll put my email out. I'll put my email address in this chat. And if you guys ever want to reach out or have anything, I'm 100% here if there's anything that I can do to support you. Any other questions or comments or anything else? Any stories that anyone wants to share? All right, Sydney, over to you. Thank you all.
Melisa, thank you so much. That was such a great start to our monthly workshops. And we're so grateful that you were able to take some time to do that. Again, if anyone has any questions for Melisa, she'll throw her email in the chat, and we are just going to jump right into it because we are so blessed today. We've got two amazing speakers. So following Melisa, we're going to have Yasmin Khan, who's been throwing some awesome tidbits of advice and thoughts into the chat already. She is going to be our next speaker, and we are so excited that both of them are able to join us. We're grateful that Yasmin is also going to speak. So I will introduce her a little bit. So Yasmin, she is a Utah-based beauty entrepreneur. She launched a DTC luxury clean and natural skincare line. It's called Khalm Skincare. It's spelled Khalm. So it's a combination of her last name and the state of being calm. like in 2020 during the pandemic, is kind of where that came from. And Khalm Skincare's mission is to bring culture and consciousness to skincare while elevating diverse voices combined with unique ingredients in the luxury skincare aisle. So Yasmin is a CEO and an entrepreneur of her own skincare line. And she is so, like Melissa said, she has an awesome story. So we're excited for her to share it with you. And so she said that she joined Women Who Succeed because she's passionate about women securing education to access growth opportunities for themselves and their families. Yasmin was able to get her Master of Communication degree from Westminster. And then she got, a Master of Business Creation, which is an accelerated business degree from the University of Utah. So education is really important to her. And she is married and she has 2 daughters, and her husband runs and owns the Wasatch Pain Solutions. And I love this part of your bio, Yasmin. A fun fact about her is that she never had a proper 3-day Indian wedding. She said that her husband and her felt that eloping was more their speed. So I love the drama of eloping. I think that's so great. Such a fun fact. So Yasmin, we're going to turn it right over to you and let you get started.
Well, thank you, Sydney. I so appreciate you. And this is the second time I'm seeing you today. So lucky for me. Can I share my screen, Sydney?
Yes. Let me make you a host really quick.
And thank you for all those kind words. I'm really excited to be here today and give you some, backstory of who I am and how Women Who Succeed has helped in my growth as a leader and a founder of a beauty company. Let's see.
I think you should be good now.
Okay, good. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Let's go into present mode. Great. So Melissa had some amazing, words to tell you about confidence and how to decide to be confident in order to harness your goals. And I'm going to continue a little bit about that on my end, on how personally I harnessed confidence in order to achieve my goals, and what were some of the strategies that I used to become more confident. First and foremost, what I want to say to all of you is the power is within you to be confident. It resides in you, but it's up to you to manifest it. It's up to you to decide, for you to have a growth mindset. No matter what challenge is in front of you, it's your decision to make. And that's where the decision comes in. And, there is a bit of fake it till you make it, but I do dislike this frame of thought because there's no faking in hard work, and hard work presents the reward that you're looking for, and earning it this way, earning it with hard work, I think is the most authentic way to earn rewards and goals in your life. And I know many of you have probably done a little faking it to make it, but also feel a bit of anxiety with that. And who wants anxiety? Let's be prepared to win our rewards and our goals. And that's what I tell myself whenever there's a challenge in front of me. I do the preparation. The big picture, what I want to present to you today is when you're striving and you're chipping away at your goals, that's how your goals are achieved. And I've done this so many times in my life that it is a working philosophy that I have. And eventually you'll see that, day by day, you're chipping away at your goals, and then you see and you look back and everything is different. Everything has changed for you because you were chipping away at this one goal. I think some of you are in high school and middle school right now and preparing for college, preparing for your SATs. You're chipping away at these goals and eventually you get there. And then you look back and you do a reflection and you see how different life is compared to where it was a couple of years back. So that is the big picture of how to harness confidence. Oh, sorry. So about me. I think I want to talk a little bit about me because I think it would help you to understand where I am today and for you to understand that you have a resource in this community of women. I'm a strategic communications major. I graduated from Westminster College in 2020. And then subsequently after that, I got my business degree from University of Utah. I am the founder of Khalm Skincare. And it is a luxury South Asian inspired beauty line with European design. I'm a mother of 2 girls who attend Waterford School. I think one of my girls is on today. So hello, Elia. I am a constant learner. I love fashion. I'm a brand lover, so it makes sense that I own a brand. I'm aspirational. I set goals. And I'm a late bloomer. So I'm about to turn 50. And I started my business when I was 40. Talk about goal setting, you know? So I think what you should know is that even if you don't get or acquire your goals at a young age, you have time. You have time to acquire these goals and rewards that you want. So growing up, this was a last minute slide that I put in for my presentation. But when I did put it in, I had such a cathartic view of my life, you know, going back and reviewing where I came from really puts into perspective where I am today. I came to America when I was 5 years old and I was speech delayed. I did not know English. So English is a second language for me. I balanced my Islamic culture with fitting into the American lifestyle. Now look at me in some of these pictures as I'm a little girl. I wanted to be an American. I wanted to be American, and that meant dressing like an American, right? But I also wanted to keep my cultural values and my cultural systems because really that is what has harnessed my power throughout the years. I was passionate about learning, but I wasn't excelling in school. And when I was in middle school in the South, I grew up, did my middle school in Atlanta, Georgia. There was a lot of racism. So I had to balance going to school with, you know, being bullied and having racist remarks thrown at me, which, you know, I dealt with and I grew as a result of dealing with these issues. High school, I was great. I was in honor society. I graduated with a 4.0, but I still felt lost in the admissions process because my parents never went to school in the United States. So they really had no resources and I couldn't rely on them to help me through the college experience. So I think when you are going through that college experience now, be grateful to your parents and be grateful to a support system that you have. Harness that support system to succeed and meet your goals. They are a part of your confidence as well. And my college choices were limited economically and geographically. I was a product of immigrant parents. They worked and they provided shelter and food and happiness. And that's about all they could do for me, which was enough. You know, I was set on the path to come to America and do something transformational with my life. And I also have to say that a mentor came into my life at a very young age. I met my husband at the age of 21, and he was going to Emory University, and I was going to the University of Georgia, and he was on a path to become a doctor. And seeing him go through all these obstacles and seeing his confidence gave me a level of confidence that if this person could do it, so could I. So mentorship really came in the form of a husband, but he was also my friend. And I'm telling you, mentorship really changed the trajectory of my life. even to today, where you see me standing with my advisory board, and they happen to be amazing women who are mentoring me through my business. So my work experience, when I was younger, I was focused on being an educator. So I wanted to be in education. I realized after going to my last year of college, and we were in actual school setting, that this wasn't for me. And I quickly pivoted to a career in the legal profession and attained a paralegal certificate, which really catapulted a career of being in legal and real estate and business transactions. And the second half of my career has really been learning more about leadership development and brand ownership. And that's where I think Women Who Succeed comes in for me, to really develop these additional skills that I need to have. Like it was said, the education background for me was really the determining factor for my confidence and for my growth. When I received my bachelor's degree, like I said, I had no direction. But the paralegal certificate, although it was not four-year institution, it was a 9-month program, it still paid in spades for what it taught me. Recently, the strategic communication degree from Westminster, I acquired that while I was building my business, and really the R&D part of my business. And it really helped me to communicate my brand values, and increase my branding skills. So now I can be out there, talk about my brand, and feel comfortable. And the Master of Business Creation program, that is part of the University of Utah David Eccles Business School and the Lausanne Entrepreneurship program. And I graduated that with a full scholarship. I do not think they do that anymore, so they've changed some of the criteria. But I said yes to it right after my first master's. I went right back into another master's program. I felt that, hey, it was a challenge, but I was able and willing to take it. And then now currently I'm in a certificate program here at Salt Lake Community College, which I'm actually supposed to be in class right now. So, but I'm here with you. That's okay. So let's talk a little bit about Khalm Skincare, the company that I'm building. We're a direct-to-consumer indie skincare brand, and we believe in creating exceptional, clean, and healthy luxury products for our customers. Now, all of this is something that I created out of just my mindset, right? I had an idea, I put it in place, I found the right manufacturer, the right developer who could put the oud wood into a powerhouse modern formulation. And I never had done this before. So while I'm doing this, I'm learning about how to do this. And so if I can do something like this, I think anyone can do something like this, right? So I don't want you to ever be held back because you haven't grown up in a system, or you don't know much about, a special education pathway that you want to take. Is all about the learning and the growing aspect. Personal skills, I feel that I'm a good communicator. I'm learning more about leadership now. I love relationship building, and as a beauty entrepreneur, I kind of have to do that. So I know a lot of influencers, and that is part and parcel of our marketing strategy. I'm a constant problem solver, and I have empathy for others, but I don't wait for them. And that's crucial. When you have a goal and you want to set something for yourself and you want to achieve it, some people may not be ready to come along with you on that ride. And that's okay. You have to be empathetic to that and move on. And your personal skills are those things that you shine at doing, and find out what those things are, and know that your skills won't be the same as someone else. So view them as your gifts. who here has taken the high five test? Has anybody, Sydney, have the younger kids taken that? Okay, great. I see a lot of participants. Great. So I also took the high five test, since I'm also a mentor to some college aged ladies. And my high five test revealed that I'm a self-believer, duh. I'm a timekeeper, which my kids will tell you I am. I'm a coach, so I hope I'm coaching you today. I'm a peacekeeper. I just had a fight this morning with my husband, but within an hour we resolved it. So give you an example of don't wallow in the fight. Solve it and move on, okay? And then I'm a philomath. I love to learn. And, I think this test really showed me some key qualities of myself that I didn't know about. So I'm sure some of you, found some interesting things on this test. Does anybody want to tell me something interesting that they found when they took this test? Yeah, babe.
I got 2 of the same with you. I got self-believer and the philomath.
Great.
I also got a believer, and I'm an empathizer and a catalyst.
Great. So do you see yourself in those, or were some of those new?
Some of those were really new. I had no idea what some of them meant.
Right. Like philomath, I'd never heard of.
Or catalyst.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I can go.
Kate?
I got first off philomath, second empathizer, third optimist, fourth self-believer, and fifth a coach.
Great. So already this test is kind of telling you, what you can now harness, right? Like I didn't feel like I was a coach at all. I coached myself, I coached my kids, I coached my husband, but beyond that, that was just, my bubble. So being here today, hoping that I'm coaching you guys is really a new thing for me. And I hope I'm doing a good job at it. So anyway, how am I confident? And I think you probably saw some of this through our slides. Getting educated has been one of the biggest things to raise my confidence level. And it doesn't have to be a full-fledged bachelor's degree. It could be any sort of tutorial or class that you take that just increases your skill sets. And show up to network. Like today, I think you've shown up to network. This is part of your networking, skills and goals that you've set for yourself this year. Continually say yes to challenges and challenging experiences. And you've said yes today by coming here, right? This is kind of challenging to take, a time out of your busy day and to meet people and to see how they accomplish things and live their lives. Dress to impress. I'm always up for a good gala, which we're going to have tomorrow. So I'm always dressing to impress. I just feel that if I have a jacket on, or if I'm pressed and my makeup is on, because makeup is a big deal for me, and my skincare is done, I am ready to impress whoever I'm talking to. See everything as a learning experience, which I hope you're learning a lot from today's lectures or today's really outreach to you all as friends and as hopefully future mentors. I meditate and enjoy physical activity. That is also a component of being confident, as well as your skincare routine. But that is also harnessing confidence in you. So take not only mental things, but physical things that can harness your confidence. So I'm going to go through these confidence mantras that have allowed me to tackle some initiatives and projects I have going on. When I swap out one little word, it changes the whole trajectory of how I'm feeling. So today I felt like I have to do this. I have to show up for these ladies today. But then when I say to myself, I get to do this today, right? What a pleasure. Even though I'm nervous, even though, I don't do this a lot because I'm, in the process of building my brand and continuously in operations. I don't get to talk a lot to a lot of people. So I'm, honored to do this today, and I'm showing up. I can't do that. Say, I can try to do that. I think every day there's something that, is hard to do, but you've tried, and that's where you can check your box off. I tried it. Whether you accomplished it or not, you did try. And then I should do that, or say, I will do that, or you know what? I will not do that. Your no's are as impactful as your yeses. So be careful what you say yes to, and make sure you say no to the things that are not serving you. Why is this happening to me? Instead of saying that, I want to say, what am I learning from this? For someone who believes in energy and flow, there's always a reason why something is happening to me. And I may not see it in the present day, but I'll see it later on. So I check that in my file cabinet in my head and say, well, this is happening to me. I'm going to learn from this later on. I failed. Say, hey, I attempted and it didn't work. Part of being an entrepreneur and just part of being a human is failing, like we talked about earlier. It's the attempt that really matters. And that's what other people see. You attempted something and they are in awe of just that. Whether you win or fail, they're in awe of your attempt. This is too complicated. I guess I could have said that when I first started my business, but I had no idea how complicated it really was. So really not knowing the complication was probably a benefit to me. And I didn't understand it then, but I clearly understand it today. And then last but not least, share what you're learning. Giving back is part of receiving. So I implore you, if you have little brothers and sisters, if you have friends, share what you're learning with them. You never know where someone is in their life trajectory that may need what you're here to bring. And being in this program is part of me giving back because I've received so much in my life. And you have my contact information here. You can take a screenshot. You can always get in touch with me with anything that you need advice on or just a friendly talk. I'm here to help and, maybe find a network of people for you or a contact with an institution or a program. I love doing that. That's where I thrive. So connect with me whenever you can. And thank you for this opportunity to talk to you today.
Wow, thank you so much, Yasmin. Really quick, does anyone have questions for her before we, really quick, I want to take another picture just because a lot of other people joined after, so sorry in advance, but before we do that, does anyone have any questions for Yasmin or for Melisa if anything else came up? Okay, awesome. So we're recording this workshop right now. And so what's going to happen within the next few days is I'm going to send out a link to the recording of this workshop so that if you want to, you can rewatch it. And then also for those mentees who couldn't join us today, they can rewatch it as well. Don't forget, okay, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to put the link for the attendance form into the chat here, just in case anyone forgot or came in late and they don't see it. This link will mark your attendance so that you can be in the drawing for the scholarship. And we are going to try just one more time. I'm going to see if I can pin. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm going to pin Melisa and Yasmin to the top so that we can see those are our speakers. Okay. Okay. So one more time, we're going to take a screenshot picture. Thank you so much for being patient. So there are 2 screens I have to do. So just keep smiling for just a second. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Amazing. Keep smiling. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you so much. And if there are no more questions or no more follow-ups, again, thank you to Yasmin and Melisa. We're so grateful that you could take some time to talk to us and to teach us and share some of your experiences and your thoughts with us. We really appreciate it. And to all of our mentees that are here, thank you for coming. It was great to see you again. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. And then Melisa and Yasmin are now in your corner too. Like Yasmin said, accept networking opportunities. And this is a huge networking opportunity. So be sure to reach out if you have anything, but we will let you go for the night. Thank you so, so much. It was great to see you all. Thanks again to Melisa and Yasmin. Have a great night, and we will see you next month.